comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I had a fucking chill day today. An absolute fucking holiday. Got back from the gig last night so fucking late. My wife came to the gig and she's not helpful sometimes, although it is it is in a way helpful. It's a reality check. When I do good, she lets me know, and when I don't, she's pretty honest. She didn't even really have to say much. Well, she said nothing, but after I got off the stage, as I walked out, she was like in the aisle and she looked at me and she scrunched her nose. She like pursed her lips and scrunched her nose like, that sucked. And yeah, it wasn't my fucking best night. I have to admit, I went too hard at the start on the cricket. I'm like, we fucked you in the cricket. We completely fucked you. I had no jokes. It was just fuck you. You suck. You stink. So opening with that for like the first minute and a half, it's hard to come back from it. Once they turned, they were pretty turned, but I managed to get a couple back. But this guy in the front row, he wasn't liking it at all. And fucking a few of them weren't. They were a little bit quiet. Anyway, it wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't the best. But my wife pulled a face that said it stunk. So, and she hasn't mentioned anything afterwards. I think she conveyed the message. Anyway, we went out all night afterwards, had some darts, had some late coffees. So I was up till like 3:30, 4 o'clock, slept in. And then my wife went shopping and I got stuck with the kids, but it's India. And one of the kids, my son, just went out in the street and fucking did, I don't know, whatever he did for fucking like 8 hours. I have no idea. I didn't even poke my head out to look. And then me and my daughter, because no one else was in the house, just sat on the bed and I put some fucking cartoons on Netflix and I let her watch like 7 hours of cartoons just in a row, unbroken. Actually, I read the Gruffalo twice to her. That broke it up a little bit. So I read the Gruffalo twice and she wanted the TV back on straight away. And I went straight back to my book. I read all day and I managed to get through 20 pages of this book. And I think this could be the book. It's a dense read. It's called The Great Transformation by Carl Polanyi. Is that his fucking name? Carl Polanyi. Polanyi. Yeah, that's about right. That's good enough. But it's a seminal book. It's renowned to be a masterpiece of, I don't even know what it is. It's kind of like an economics book. It's kind of like an anthropology book. He's an anthropologist, economist. I don't know what the fuck he is. Sociologist. But he's pretty much outlining how we got into this capitalist system, this market economy, and how it's all playing out. Like, it took me fucking 6 hours to read 20 pages today because I'm really trying to let it sink in. I went over a bunch of it like 20 times. I'm like, all right, is this what he's saying? It's not that it's like super complex. It's just like, all right, I need to untangle other ideas to understand this idea, because it's sort of saying that the profit system, basically the greed system, restructured human society in a way that had never been run before. And that's where we're living now. It was written in 1944 or something, just before the end of the Second World War. So I'm only I'm about a third of the way through. And he's just developing the ideas, so I can't really parrot them off at the moment. And I don't know if I know them well enough. But it goes all the way back to like England, 1530s and shit like that. This is why history is so fucking important. This is why they don't teach it. Is because if you make the connections from shit way back then you begin to understand what's going on now. And a lot of this is just the consequence of shit that happened way back when. But the Industrial Revolution and the repeal of the poor laws. So there were these laws in England. Oh, fuck. I can't fucking go into it now, can I? I want to talk about this book in more depth later. But anyway, the poor laws in England. Basically, it was the Spain-Hamlin laws, which basically, instead of a minimum wage, this system was like set to the price of bread. So everyone was able to be subsidized like 3 loaves of bread per person, whether you're working or not. And this was meant to supplement wages. But what happened was the fucking industrialists were like, fuck paying these cunts. These cunts are already getting 3 loaves of bread a week. We shouldn't have to pay them fuck all. They're eating, aren't they? Anyway, the poor laws were abolished, and then the capitalists really fucking took over. But anyway, that's a very fragmented idea that isn't connected to anything I really said previously. But when I finish this book, I'm immediately starting it again so I can understand what's going on. Because from what I can gather, this is pretty accurate. It basically says, like, at the start of the Industrial Revolution, our society went from basically like small communities where everyone helped each other to a profit model, a financial gain model, greed. So the thing underpinning all of society from the beginning of the Industrial Revolution is greed. One of the sins. Anyway, let me finish the fucking book and I'll get back to you, alright? This doesn't make sense without fucking finishing the book. Anyway, that'll fucking do it for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.